Allowable and outstanding order for honorable senators to make some intervention on the statements that have been made. Now, we have only half an hour under standing orders, and I can see my dashboard is almost full. So as you speak, honorable senators, be mindful of your colleagues. The Honorable Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the statement that was raised by the Senator nominated Catherine Muma, as read by our very own Senator Esther Ekenyuri, that is directed on the committee, to the Committee of National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations on the disaster response. Mr. Speaker, in Nairobi County. Mr. Speaker, I was going to request that this committee, as it investigates the issues that have been raised by the Honorable Catherine Muma, Mr. Speaker, to also seek clarification on just two quick ones. Mr. Speaker, His Excellency the President visited the area of Mathare and directed that the people, 40,000 households who have been affected, will be paid 10,000 shillings per household to help them in the relocation. I would want the committee to find out if the same amount of money or even more can be extended to other counties like Tana River County, which have been badly affected, and people have also been relocated from their ordinary places of living. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sifuna.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to inform the Honorable Mungatana that in fact the announcement by the President yesterday was on plans that his government is intending to put in place to help the people of Nairobi, and this is coming 2 weeks after people have been moved from their houses, after their houses have been washed away. I was extremely disappointed, Honorable Speaker, that instead of coming and addressing the people of Mathare about what the government has already done, the head of state was talking about things that he's going to do. Where does he think these people have been living for the past 2 weeks? Mr. Speaker, this rain in Nairobi started...
What is the point of order, Senator Fernandez?
Mr. Speaker, I rise under fourth schedule on devolved functions, and also section 148 is it of the Public Finance Management Act. Is it a standing order number 1 and 105 if you want the standing orders? Mr. Speaker, is it in order for my brother Senator Edwin Sifuna to mislead the House, yet issues of disaster and emergency under the budgeting process by the PMF Act, at least 2% of that money should be allocated fighting disasters, Mr. Speaker? The point I'm trying to make is that the issue of handling disaster preparedness is not an exclusive function of national government. What Senator Sifuna should be telling the nation is what is the Nairobi City County government has done in Mathare before
Senator Gloria, we do not allow understanding orders for choruses in this House. Conclude.
Mr. Speaker, in fact, the national government only come to supplement, Mr. Speaker. So is it in order what Senator Sifuna should be telling the nation, what have they done as a county government to address the challenges while we sympathize and empathize with the people who have been affected in this city? What have they done as Nairobi City County on their 2%? And Mr. Speaker, sir, it is money that is allocated under the county revenue, Mr. Speaker. And for the information of the House, the governor of Nairobi said national government has given support to a tune of 500 million, Mr. Speaker. So you cannot allow Senator Sifuna to get away with misinformation and misleading the country, Mr. Speaker. He should be ruled out of order.
Senator Sifuna, if I got you correctly, you indicated that the head of state came to Mathare 2 weeks after the floods had ravaged the area. And instead of coming to say what the national government had done, he came to state what his government was going to do. Taking it from where the Senator Fonandi has said, that under Schedule 4 of our Constitution, that particular function fairly falls within the county government. Would you still want to pursue that line? Or?
I will absolutely insist on that line, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, if you protect me from this frivolous points of order, I was actually going to tell you what the county government has done. But I was expressing my disappointment. Mr. Speaker, this rain in Nairobi started beating us seriously on the 20th of April. By the 24th of April, we, the leadership of Nairobi, were calling for the national government to declare this a national disaster because our own county was overwhelmed. I hear people parroting about 2% of the resources of the county being directed to the disaster account. It's not as if county governments receive all the money that is allocated to them by this house and then separate 2% and put it in the account. As we speak right now, if you are a serious person who follows devolution, you know that the county governments have not received money since January. The equitable share of county governments has not reached the counties by from January. So, Mr. Speaker, when you hear somebody saying talk about 2%, 2% of what? You should talk about 2% of money that you have put in the accounts of the county governments. Mr. Speaker, my disappointment is in the fact that from the 24th of this month, of last month, people have been sleeping outside. Then you come and tell us that you're going to give 10,000 shillings to the affected households. We have lost over 10,000 households, Mr. Speaker. Where do you think these people have been